like we have to memorize where it's weak, we have to memorize where it's strong. Know your equipment. Know every piece of equipment. And it's like going into a foreign country and learning their fighting tactics and their battle tactics and what type of weapons they're using. You have to memorize everything that they're doing. If they're coming at you with a center grip round, you have to remember, strong, 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 strong. Weak in the corners, and 3 pivot points. 3, at least. Because usually center grips are handled above the center in the middle of it. I don't know what this one is. But a lot of center grips, especially the Viking extant examples that we have, the hole is a little bit higher than center. And so the hand is sitting here, a little higher than center. So this is a stronger line to it. Okay? You can still do it a lot, but this is a little stronger than the other ones. And I like opening doors like this a little better. I have the students open those doors up a little bit more. Because of that, you can utilize their shield in your fight. If you have somebody that's really good with it, they're sitting behind there and they're bang, 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 and you punch that sucker open, it's like pulling the screen open when they're in the shower, like, ah! Right? Not that you've ever done that. Maybe. Yes?
What about these spear fighters? They fight spear in one hand and sword in the other.
Very skinny shield.
Yeah. They spear in one hand and sword in the other?
He's talking about me now.
Damn.
The Manu
You
guys.
didn't get that clock back, huh? The what?
The Manu guys, where are their tip points?
Peasant's weapon, shoot him. Anyway. Let me tell you a story. I don't know if you guys know Skippy from Kaigi. Setchiker from Kaigi. His and I call this. So get you foster him for a few months. He's going to be out there doing a job. So absolutely, have him come up. He comes in for fighter practice, and he's hauling his armor in. And he sets it down, he goes back out. And he grabs a bunch of his weapons, and he sets it down, and his Madi falls out on the floor. And he goes back out to get his armor, and I picked up the Madi, and I walked outside, and I threw it in the parking lot. He looks at it. Okay. No, so the color coding part of what we do with our shields, this isn't by happenstance. I color code everything. I use 3-fold for how we teach. And you can use similar types of things when you're talking with people. We talk about nomenclature, names. The pendulum, it looks like a pendulum. The Monet, well, that's what it is. It's always been called that. Right? You guys call it a flat stand. What stances? Do you have a name for the stance? Do you have a name for your stances? Anybody?
Boxer, front
Plunge foot, yeah. Surfboard stance.
Boxer.
Yeah. We use 4 stances. Bladed stance, box stance, squared stance. You can check all 3. Blade stance, right? My opponent's there, 90 degrees. Put my feet together. Front foot goes in the middle of the back. Step out shoulder width. Knees bent. You should always be able to pick up the heels. Your weight is always on the ball of the foot. We step always on the ball of the foot, never on the heel. If you can't explain that to somebody who's just starting off, you cannot explain footwork. Because they'll always wonder why. Right? Why don't I do it like this? Because I can't kick over there. And because I can't turn. So it's here. How do you check your feet? Scream at me. Check your feet. Front foot in the middle? Yes, good. On guard. Okay. Now when you move around, bang, bang, on the pedal, bang, bang, check your feet. Damn it. An easy, simple way to show your people how they can adjust their feet properly. Right? You watch videotape, people are coming out, they get ready to fight, and they get in there and get close, and they go, he's like, I felt balance for that shot. Wonder. My God, how did that happen? It's because this. Right? Like I said, look down. Your feet will get you killed every time. Every single time. Now, when we teach as a martial art, we teach kicks. Because kicks are period. Medieval knights kicked all the time. They kicked the hell out of each other. Right? And we use the savate terms. So we use direct, chassé, fouette, because we see them all in the medieval manuscripts. Maximilian's standing out there throwing a chassé to the top of this dude's knee and hammering him with a war hammer into the mud. Not a fun day. For him, yes, the other guy. Alright? Talhofer, Fiore, Pascal, Dürer, all of them show kicks of one type or another that are directly translated. So, not that we do kicks in the SCA. We don't want to do kicks in the SCA. We don't want to grapple in the SCA. We don't want to wrestle in the SCA. We don't want to do any of that because everybody's got to go back to their job. Oh, you don't want to. You don't want to because I don't want to be the guy, or I don't want to have a friend who's the guy that runs up on that kid who just got out of combat pay for 2 years off the big sand and go to choke him out and watch him switch into survival mode and engine. Nobody else. Right? This is not that type of one. But what we do want is we want to have good, solid footwork constantly. So we can have a firing platform to use. We can't use the shield if we don't. So, here we go. Come here. That certainly is.
Okay to use this? I don't know this one. Is it okay to use that?
Can we use it? I like it. No! So, he has no shield. Well, kind of like shield. He has no shield. And he's got the butt thingy, whatever. And he's got the halberd up here, and he's got this. So you go into your fighting stance. Really? Okay. So fighting stance goes up, and I go in. Now, where is measure now? At the end of this hit, right? That's the threat. So my shield is going to adjust to how close threat is. Am I going to be out here already starting off? Hell no. Closed. Already closed. Because that's the threat now, not him. Alright? So, here we go. That's the weapon. I'm going to face towards the weapon. This is the thing that I have to deal with afterwards. Or right along with it. So as I kind of inch my way in, we start to fight. Right? Now what? Take the big sticky thing away. Right? And I'm going to beat this until you let it go. All day long. Because this is the only thing you have in front of you. Now, when it gets in close, or get into here, we have to worry about that pokey thing and this pokey thing. Right? All the pokey things. In the damn way. What lines is it giving me? That one. Right? The wraps don't really work because you can open it up. But this is still here. And if I still face the weapon, when I throw something like this, or this, and keep the shield in the way, now as the thrust comes through, right? Now as this comes through, and then this comes in, I'm going to hook and press and tilt and hook this thing constantly, right? Don't point that at me. Hook, press, move, bang. Too many times we look at where the strength and weakness of the weapon is. Any weapon. Like I said, I color code everything. This one's actually pretty perfect. Strong line, weak, especially on a sword because we never parry on the edge, we always parry on the flat. In my school, this would be red because it's an action. And right here would be white. Because this is the weakest part for him to hold on to. And controlling the tip on any side of this is really difficult. And so with my shield, I'm going to manipulate that as much as I can. Same thing with a spear. Oftentimes, would you grab that, Scooter? Oftentimes with a spear, right? Do you fight with spears? Yeah? Put your foot down for me. Here, you go and guard against him with a spear. All right. Is there a problem with that? Do you think? Oh no, don't do anything. Don't kill each other. Just pose like somebody's taking a picture.
Just smile. Look at us.
A stack defense. Weapon, your defense, you.
Should have remembered that from Art of War.
If you're facing a weapon and he's got a shield side, yeah. You got to fight both hands, right? You have to have both sides. That's the gap open up over there. That's where the angle of the weapon is coming over there. If I'm here, I'm constantly working against it. Constantly giving him a lot for it. Doesn't mean I can't do it. Lots of people do it really successfully. This gives me the weapon in between us the whole time. So if I retreat, if I do anything else, right? Not to mention the fact, if you know me at all, you know what's going to happen when we get to here. Anybody?
You're going to move a shield.
I'm going to dagger you in the face. Often. Because a pole weapon should have a dagger.